All right, I'll get started here. So if you guys are signed up here, it's because you're interested in virtual assistants. So at the end here, we'll do questions and answers. I'm going to mute some of you guys, if you wouldn't mind. I am going to record this uh, because this is going to be a training for my clients. And let's get into how did I learn this stuff? So for those of you who don't know, I did have a previous business. I was featured in this book actually. Oh, there's my green screen. $1 million Service Business Secrets by Mike Campion, who was my first business coach. What, 7 years ago? Wow, 8 years ago. Man, it's been a long time. So crazy. Yeah, so $1 million Service Business Secrets, and my last business was featured in here. And what I learned was that I couldn't find good employees, and I had a business that was growing, and all of a sudden I reached a point where I couldn't get any more traction, and I started implementing some tactics that large companies use. That, there's a company in America called like Chick-fil-A. I'm sure you guys have heard of that. Or there's some other business models like it. But if you ever drive through the drive-through, you'll notice that, oh my gosh, the people are always friendly. It's like they want to work there, right? And so what my coach taught me was some secrets about how to hire and how to keep, and realizing that you're not competing for business, you're competing for employees when you're doing a service business. Well, coaching is no different. The only difference is that you're online. So instead of hiring real person employees, you're hiring virtual assistants. So if you're at a point in your business where, man, I know all the information, I I want to go farther, I want to get more leads, but either one, there could be some technical issues. Maybe you're learning all kinds of new information, new apps, new how to do landing pages, how to do websites, how to do copy, how to use AI, how to do all these different things. And feel free to chat if you guys have any of these experiences and stuff, or what kind of challenges you're having throughout this, or if anything of this resonates. But what we're going to be going over today is all of that, and how to use what I learned from hiring employees. And you're going to see how I just implemented all of these things in real life. And I'm going to show you the difference between just going out there and finding somebody. Because, as you know, with trying to build your own website, or trying to start getting more leads, if you're not consistent and you're not implementing things that are consistently bringing you in new leads, then your clients are going to be sporadic. Maybe you'll get one this month, or five in 3 months. But hiring a virtual assistant, it guarantees a few things. It brings you consistent results. And if you do it right, you'll have someone that you can trust, and you don't need to micromanage. And that's the goal, right? Because if you don't do this right, then you go from spending too much time trying to figure out new technology, new things, trying to build your brand, to all of a sudden now you're spending time trying to find a virtual assistant, which could take months. And I think there's some people that reach out to me that said they were spending a lot of time and money hiring people that weren't the right fit. So let's get to it. Let me share my screen here. And for those of you joining past the live, I welcome you guys. And let's do share screen here. All right, let's get into it. Okay. Can everybody hear me? I can't see you guys. Okay. Somebody said spotlight. Okay. All right. How do we do present? Okay. All right, here we go. So, unlocking the power of core values. So, if you don't know what this is, I'm going to teach you what this is. And this is going to be mastering the art of hiring and retaining top virtual assistants through core values. So, let's dive into this and how you do this. So, the cost of an ineffective VA hiring. So, it's time draining. You're hiring the right VA can take months, even years, slowing your business growth instead of growing it. Financial impact, constant turnover, ineffective hiring, wastes thousands of dollars. Stress and overwhelm, undelegated tasks create stress, overwhelm, affecting your business joy. The solution, a proven system for hiring effective VAs, saves time, money, and reduces stress, freeing you from focus on business growth. Okay, so today we're going to cover the power of core values, how to craft a compelling hiring ad, the process for assessing candidate alignment, how to implement effective quarterly reviews to keep good VAs, and strategies for continued growth. All right, so core values, your secret weapon. Core values are the essential to the fabric of your company. If you don't know your core values, I'm going to teach you how to discover them, and they can guide the hiring process and shape your work culture. This transformed my life, guys. If you don't know your core values, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Some of the biggest companies on the planet use core values to run their company. I used to fire clients in my old business. If they violated one of my core values, I would fire, well, they fire themselves, right? Um, they would fire themselves, employees, and even people, myself. If I was violating one of my core values, one of my employees would even tell me. So that's, and if you just joined, please go ahead and mute. So anyways, let's dive into step one. You're going to text 3 to 5 friends, okay, asking for 5 words that describe you. I know it sounds funny, but if you come up with your own core values, sometimes your own perception of yourself is different than what people that know you believe and see in you. So we're going to text 3 to 5 friends asking for 5 words that describe you. You're going to combine these words to form your core values. For instance, mine are be real, have fun, make money, and help others. So be real, have fun, make money, and help others. It should be simple, to the point. And once you text 3 to 5 people and they send you back these different words to describe you, you're going to be surprised what they say, probably. But what you'll do is you can use things like ChatGPT or something to help you with this. But you put all of these words into a pool and you come up with the 4 to 5 bold words that kind of describe you. And this is going to be your core values. And you're going to use this to guide your hiring ad. Okay. And I'm going to show you why, in real life, I'm going to show you why it's so important for you to use your core values in a hiring ad rather than hiring off of skills. Okay. Let's go to the next one here. From your core values to shape your job description. So this will attract candidates who align with your company's values. So if it's easy in, it's easy out. So we don't want to make it easy for VAs or employees, and you can use this in any business model, to come into your business, because if it's so easy to come in, it's so easy to get out. And that's when people don't show up, people quit on you. All of a sudden you don't hear from them. Maybe, um, it's just a mess. And so make it challenging to work with you. Okay. You want to, if they have to do a lot of things to get in, well, now they're invested in you. It's just like being a coach, right? If I'm doing free coaching, okay, usually they're not going to take your advice, or they're not going to stick around. So one of the first challenges of being a coach is understanding that you need to charge money to help people. People who pay attention, right? Well, people who uh, uh, have to work with you and invest their time and energy into working with you, they will stick around. So hire values first and skills second. I'm going to teach you guys how to do this. We're going to do it in real time. Okay. So sample hiring ad for a virtual assistant. This is a real ad that I used. Okay. You can see it here. You can do a screenshot or something, but I'm gonna let you guys have all of this stuff for free because you're so awesome and we want you guys to help more people. So part-time, full-time, we're looking for a committed, reliable virtual assistant to join our vibrant personal coaching business. If you're a self-motivated individual with passion for helping others, so you're going to use a "this is for you, this is not for you" template. Okay. If you're looking at hiring ads, you're never going to see this on any hiring ad. Maybe less than 0.5% of any business uses this model. But I promise you, if you just trust me on this, I'm going to show you the difference in the responses and the difference in how people you're attracting, because now you're attracting people based on your energy rather than the skills. Because as you know, with any employee, if you hire somebody off of skills, well, guess what? 2 weeks in after hiring them, you're going to realize that their perfect resume does not match their work performance, right? So if we hire somebody off of core values, well, now you're saying, okay, I see you as a person, and you match my person. And so now I trust that you're going to do what you're supposed to do, and you don't need to micromanage them anymore because they're matching your values. And if they don't match your values, it's okay. It doesn't mean they're a bad person or you're bad. It just means you're not a good fit. So this is how we decide if they're a good fit. So an example of this would be: you love being real and authentic in your interactions. This is for you if having fun while working is an essential to you as the work itself. This is for you if you believe in making money, but not at the expense of your values and integrity. This is not for you if, and these are just some examples. I did use some of these, but you can make it much longer. This is not for you if you struggle to be honest and transparent in your work. You view work as just a means to an end rather than a place to find joy and fun. You are driven solely by financial gain, regardless of the cost of others. And I added a lot of other things. I'm going to show you the example to this. But at the end of this, you can put basic knowledge of, and this is where you would put the technical actual skills that they're going to need. Um, and let me stop sharing here for a second. I'm going to show you guys. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay, hiring ad BA. Here we go. I'm gonna share this with you guys. This is actually the comprehensive hiring ad that we're gonna do today. Okay, can you guys see this? I can't see you guys. Okay, I think all of you guys are there. I don't know where my chats go. All right, so this is the virtual assistant ad that we're going to be using, and I'm going to show you guys different websites that you can use to find a virtual assistant. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Joe, it sounds like people would want to agree with them regardless of whether they are true. So this one's a little bit more comprehensive. So here's the thing about core values, right? If you have somebody that wants to work with you that badly, and they're gonna this isn't about lying or deceiving you to work with you. This is about attraction. So yes, and you'll be able to access the replay fifth. So this is about attraction, and I'm going to show you. Actually, I don't know if I saved that, but on the actual interviews, I would ask people, "Hey, what made you want?" And you're going to redo this in person on a live interview. And when you ask a core value based hiring question, and you will see their energy and response, I'm telling you, you're going to know right away if they're a good fit. I mean, within 5 seconds, you're going to tell. So, um, let's go a little bit further into this, and I'm going to show you, Dr. Jill, why this is attracting. It's not about admitting or anything else, because a hiring ad for most people, they're gonna go right to, what do I need to do this job? Okay, those are not the right fit people, and I'm going to show you how to distinguish this, and we will create something that will prove to you that they are wanting to work with you and they are proving their skills and that they actually read the ad. Okay, So this is for you if, this is not for you if, okay. And then you have basic knowledge of. Now here's the kicker. If you get to the end of this ad, this means that somebody actually read all of these things, okay? And most people that don't match my core values on any hiring ad, now I'm going to tell you, I've hired at least 100 people throughout my 13 years of business. And as soon as I implemented this hiring strategy, it eliminated 50% of the people I did not want to apply to my business. Okay, right away. Because you're attracting people saying, "Oh my God, like I love this ad. I love how they're talking about having fun and making money and helping others." Now, the people that don't match, it's okay. You're going to get a few of those, of course, but you're eliminating 50% that don't even feel like reading your ad because they have a 1 second attention span. Okay. So, anyways, we make it to the bottom. If this sounds like you, apply now. We can't wait to meet our next team member. Remember, being real, having fun, making money, helping others are our core values. If you share these values, we would love to hear from you. Now, here's the instructions. Okay. At the end of the ad, they have to not only make it all the way through. If they don't make it through, they, number one, they're probably not a good fit. Number two, well, let's move into why this is a good fit. So if this is a good fit, when they make it to the bottom of this ad, that means that not only number one, they read all of your core value based statements. And when they make it to the end, it means that they read it all and now they're ready to take an action. So you eliminated 50% right in the beginning because most people have a 1% attention span. They're looking for instructions rather than, oh, I don't care about being real and authentic. Like, what the heck is this? But the people that match your core values, you're going to say, oh my God, I love this. Let me keep reading. But the instructions are all the way at the bottom. Most people put what they're looking for at the very beginning. So at the end, if you made it to the end and this sounds like it's your dream job, email your responses to funflowva@gmail.com, plug into your life, or support at plugintoyourlife.com. You're going to put an email address specific to only receiving these responses. Okay. Now, here's the thing. When I'll go into here. When they email you, and I can show you guys how to do this at the end if you have questions. When they email you, you're going to set up an autoresponder, vacation setting on Gmail that emails them instructions. Okay. Let's see if I didn't save it here. What did I do with it? Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I have it somewhere. I'll find it at the end here. When I take questions here, I'll show you guys the actual email. But you're going to create an email, and you can use things like ChatGPT for this. You're going to create an email that gives them 3 instructions. That number one, if they made it this far, they really like your core values. Okay, and if they did make it this far, then even if they don't match your core values, you know that they're at least a smart enough person to follow instructions. So you're eliminating, like I said, each step, you're eliminating somebody that doesn't match your core values, that isn't even smart enough to follow the instructions. Like if you've ever had any kind of business, you know that these couple things are so big for hiring people, and you usually don't find out until it's too late. Okay. But we're going to solve some of these problems as you continue. So when you email the instructions, for instance, mine, I think I actually do have it here. So let's keep going the slides. When you email the instructions, you're going to come up with 3 instructions, simple things, not complicated. 3 things that kind of match your, so here's that match the things that you need them to do. For instance, mine was, thank you for, submitting your, oh, here it is. Oh, great. So first off, congratulations on taking the first step to joining our energetic creative flow squad. You'll keep going. So here are the tasks, right? Content creation, customer service. You're going to have them following a client email. Like, hey, how would you respond to this email? Design an outline flyer for a free online workshop. Okay. You're going to give them 3 simple things. Now, the people that actually, now I've had people respond back like, fuck you, like, pardon my French, but like some people just don't, they're like so offended by you actually asking them to do something. I'm telling you, each step is eliminating, Dr. Joe, eliminating people that aren't a good match for you. But people that see and read the core values, like, oh my God, I've never had a company talk about these types of things. I want to work for this person. And now they're going to do whatever it takes to work with you. And this is the difference. This is where this kind of stuff will eliminate all these people and bring you in people that match what you're looking for. So you have them do 3 simple tasks. And here's the thing, they're going to email it back. Okay. And once they email it back to you, and this is a real life example, I literally have gone through hundreds of virtual assistants this past month to not only one, prove the system works. I've did it 100 times in my last business, but I wanted to show you guys real time how this works. And the responses were like, oh my God, thank you for this opportunity. I want to work with your company so bad. Um, so anyways, let me see if I have any questions here. You guys good? Okay, everyone's still with me. All right, so now you did this step. So you have the step where they're submitting their tasks. And after they do that, you're going to see now who is a good candidate. Okay, because when you enter the virtual assistant world, you're going to get so many applications. There's so many people on this planet looking for a virtual job. Okay. And once they make it to this step, all right, you got video interviews. So once the candidates complete these tasks, they are eligible for a video call interview. Okay. And you can see who matches and who doesn't, if you like their work or not. Okay. The interview will give you a chance to assess the candidate's skills, attitude, and compatibility with your core values. Okay, the video interviews are so big because now you're not just reading something, you're not reading a resume. People are going to send you all kinds of stuff. I mean, I got like 10-page resumes and stuff, like, oh my God. But most of the time, I don't even look at any of that stuff because you can have the best resume in the world, but after I hire you for 1 week, I'm going to see who you really are. And if you hire somebody off of your core values, they will do what it takes to get the job done, and you don't need to check their skills anymore. Even if they don't know it, they're going to figure out how to make it work because they believe in you and they believe in your mission. Okay. All right. So the group interviews, um, what I do is this is more for like the regular business world. But you'll do weekly group interviews. You're not going to do one-on-one anytime they want because that becomes so stressful and then people don't show up and you're spending all your time looking for interviews. Okay. Number one, a group interview is going to show that they can handle group Zoom calls. Okay. And I'm going to show you, I did a screen recording of me doing this. You're going to see how they handle group Zoom calls. Some people go onto the call, they realize that they're up against different people and they just drop out. Thank you for showing that you don't want to work with me. Right? You can see how well they handle questions in front of other people. Are they getting nervous? Do they have a hard time talking? How do they present themselves? Do they speak good English? And now you're going to ask core value questions and skills and implement a green, yellow, red system for tracking these people. So this works in the real business world of a brick and mortar company. This also works. I'm going to show you another one here. This is so big in a brick and mortar business. But in a virtual assistant world, let me see here, hiring VA questions. Here we go. I'm going to show you guys this too. And you guys will get access to all this stuff just because I love you guys. Let me see here. So you don't need to take any notes. I'll give you guys whatever you want. Let me see. All right. So this is core value-based questions rather than skill-based questions. Core value-based questions. Can you describe a situation where you had to be authentic and real in your professional life? Now, here's the thing. They can answer whatever they want. right? They could lie. Most people try to come up with an answer that they think you want to hear. Okay, Dr. Jill, of course, that's what we do as humans. But here's the kicker: you are seeing how they're answering you now because they're live. Okay, you're seeing how they present themselves. Are they comfortable answering this kind of question? Most of the time, the people that are not a good fit, they get nervous, they turn red, they don't even know what to say. Okay. What motivates you to work beyond financial gains? Well, I need to be passionate about it. I need to love my work. Oh my God, this is a great person, right? Or can you share an instance where you went out of your way to help someone at your workplace? Oh my God, the responses that you get. I used to think these are so weird, right? Nobody's gonna, and like they're just gonna lie. Yeah, they do. But you can tell right away from the people that are authentic and the people that are not authentic if you know your core values. Okay. Do you enjoy doing charity work? How do you feel about doing that? Okay. So these are matching my core values. You can find your own. Um, are you a self motivator? What are you passionate about? Oh my God, this is such a big question. What are you passionate about? And I even transform that into, what skill are you passionate about doing being a virtual assistant, right? And then once you kind of go around the room, you ask different questions. I don't go through all of these. I just asked a couple questions for each person, to try to be respectful of their time. But then you get into a couple skills, of course. Once you kind of eliminate people, here, let me show you another one here. Okay. Here is how I track this information. Let me see, how do I get out of here? Okay. And this is what you're gonna do. Let me share my screen again. I should have figured out my screen sharing better because I wish my little head was in there. Okay. On the Google Sheets, okay. I'm telling you, I've gone through so many people. Oh my God. Uh, you this isn't perfect. Okay. I just kind of threw this up because I've done this so many times in my professional life. Um, but you're going to draft a Google Sheet based on the stuff that's important to you. Okay. And then what you implement is a green, yellow, red system. So you can remember the people that you interviewed. You're just going to do this a few times. Like in the beginning, maybe you can do one a day. You can just do a 30-minute group interview call a day with, you know, 3 to 5 people. And within a week, you're going to have a lot of interviews. And right away, you're going to see who's a good fit, who's not. And then I match them green, yellow, red. I put super green for super awesome people. And then you kind of match their experience, red, right? I don't even mess with those people, or maybe they're just not a good fit for what I'm looking for. They don't know how to handle themselves on Zoom, or maybe their English isn't good, or whatever it may be. Okay. This is how you track all the people you're interviewing. All right. Let's do a check-in. How's everybody doing? You still with me? Did you guys all fall asleep? Just checking in. Let me know there in the chat. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. We're gonna keep going. I know I'm talking a lot. I love to talk. All right, let's go here. I've done this so many times, guys. Oh my God, it's gonna transform your whole life if you implement this in any hiring you do. Um, all right, where are we at? Let's see. Oh, okay. We're gonna go back here. Hang with me here. Let me get back to my screen. So as of right now, let's recap. We've realized the power of core values, how you're going to transform people. Let's see, that you're interviewing with using those types of questions and add. Let's go to present here. All right. All right. So now you're into group interviews. This is where the cream of the crop come in. You're going to be able to tell who's BSing you, who matches the personality types, because you're hiring off of matching your personality, right? If you're somebody that is very demanding or very military like in your communication, just like mirroring, you don't want to hire somebody that's so sweet and soft or can't even talk English. You're going to intimidate them, right? So this is going to give you an opportunity to really meet the people. And instead of you skimming through 100 applications and trying to choose somebody that you think matches the skills that you need, you're going to immediately meet them. And then you're going to be able to ask them questions like, hey, I'm really looking for somebody that understands social media. Or I'm really having a challenging time with landing pages. Can you tell me how you would help with developing or monitoring a landing page? Or do you even know what a landing page is? Okay. So you can ask skill-based questions, but now you'll be able to see their answers rather than just looking at their resume. Because if they don't know how to answer you, now you know that their resume is bullshit. Okay. So let's keep going here. Probably gonna have to bleep out all these cuss words. All right, here we go. Okay. So of course you'll be able to assess the core value alignment, monitor the performance and alignment of each candidate over time to prevent potential issues. This helps in selecting, onboarding, and retaining the right candidate. All right. Now, once you found, and you can hire like, I didn't put this in here, but one of the secrets to hiring a virtual assistant is not hiring a virtual assistant to do everything. Okay. You're gonna oh, and I'm giving you guys, before we get into the quarterly reviews, let me see if it's in here. Okay. Let me go back because I want to show you guys this. So how do you decide which tasks to delegate? I'm going to give you guys this. Also, I'll put the link in the chat. Actually, let's do that right now. I want you guys to make a copy of this. This is how you decide which tasks to delegate. Let me I can't get, where's my chat? There it is. Okay. So use this. Okay. So I've just posted the link in the chat. You guys can have that for free, but this is how you're going to decide which tasks you're going to delegate first. The most common mistake for hiring a virtual assistant is hiring a VA and then saying, and not being clear in what they need to do. Okay. All employees quit the boss, they don't quit the job. Okay. If you hire somebody off of money, they're going to stick around for money. And when they don't like you, they're going to quit. If you hire somebody off of core values, they're going to quit if you're not sure on what they're doing. So people quit the boss, not the job. Okay. This is how you figure out what they're going to be doing. So tasks I'm doing that I love doing, tasks I hate doing, tasks I can't do myself, and tasks I shouldn't be doing that I am doing. Okay. So you're going to use this worksheet and you can kind of edit it a little bit if you want. Um, but once you're clear on the tasks that you are doing, you'll go through your day and you will write down the things that you're doing, hate doing, can't do, or shouldn't be doing. And you can use this in a whole week if you like. Just kind of print it, keep it on um, you can keep it on your desk. But what you're going to use is the tasks from here. All right, let's keep going here. I keep getting out of my thing here. Let me go back. Yeah, so number one, get very clear on what tasks you want them to do before you hire a virtual assistant. Okay, if you go into this thing saying, okay, here's all of my business and I need your help. Like, number one, now you're, because let's say social media, that is one job. Okay, that's a full-time job. There's people that have entire businesses off of just managing uh social media, right? And then there's landing pages. That's a $10,000 a month job alone just in social media. I mean, landing page building if it's a professional. Um, so again, that's why it's so important to be very clear. Now you can find a virtual assistant that does handles a lot of different things, but until you're clear on what it is they're going to be doing, you're not going to be successful in hiring a virtual assistant. They're going to get frustrated. They're not going to want to work with you. And like I said, this is a team. You're not hiring somebody to do a task. You're bringing on somebody that believes in your mission and you want them to succeed also. And you shouldn't go into this also believing that they need to stay with you for the rest of their life. Plan and find out what they're passionate about. What do they want to do with their life? And plan for helping them get there, paying them more money if they're doing a great job. And that's where all of this comes in. So, number one, I can't drive this enough. So sorry for going into this so deeply, but you want to be clear on what they're going to be doing. It's so important. Like it's probably the most important thing when hiring a virtual assistant is clarity on what tasks they need to be doing, and making sure that those tasks are not so complicated and take a lot more time than you think it does. Like some people think, oh, putting together a whole funnel is something easy. Actually, that's a very complicated process, and you need to be very aware of marketing, copywriting, design, graphic design. Like there's so many things that go along with that. In my last business, before we had all these helpful tools, I you know, I went through so many people, so many things to try to build a good funnel and a landing page for my service business. And I ended up paying someone $15,000 to put together a funnel for me. And this was like 8 or 7 years ago, um, before they had a lot of AI and these easy website builders and stuff. But I'm just showing you the difference between like one job and having somebody try to do everything at the same time. Okay. You can do it, but you just got to make sure you're clear on what you're doing. All right. All right. Let's get out of that. Let's go back into quarterly reviews. So, if you made it this far, now you have realized your best candidate. Maybe you've gone through 2 or 3 people at this point, and you're not going to hire somebody and then that's it. You're going to hire somebody and you're going to let them know that you have a working interview. So you have 5 days or 1 week or 20 hours or whatever it is that you want to do, or one little task, one little project. You're not going to give them everything all at once. Hey, I need this one task or this one project, or maybe this one thing, or maybe a few tasks together. And you're going to do a working interview. And the working interview now, it says, hey, you're still in an interview stage. Okay. And if they make it past the interview stage, I should have put a slide in here for this. This is really important. But, anyways, once they make it past the working interview, you're going to implement quarterly reviews. Now, usually people don't tell an employee what's going on unless they're not happy with something. Like, hey, this has been going on for a while. You're probably going on the healing calls to get healing from it or know how to talk to somebody or something with Christian. But the thing is, if you do a quarterly review, okay, and in the beginning, maybe you want to do a review like once a week, okay, or once a month for the first quarter. But a quarterly review, you're not going to say, this is how you're doing. You're going to say, hey, how am I doing? Okay. How am I doing? How can I serve you more? Okay. How do you think you're doing? All right. The quarterly reviews are so big. You're finding out how they are doing. You're not telling them, hey, you really suck. Okay. You're saying, hey, how are you doing? How am I doing? How can we work together as a team to create the mission, the thing that we're trying to accomplish here to help more people or whatever it is you're doing? Then you're going to let them know up front too. You can use AI to help you with draft this thing and but implement a color coded performance tracking system. green for good, yellow for improvement needed, red for final chance. This system ensures everyone is accountable and incentivized. I don't even know how to say that word. Okay, continual improvement. Offer bonus and a raise each quarter if they are green. Okay. Now, in my service business, I did 2 greens to get a raise and a bonus. So they had to do 2 quarters, and then I gave them a raise. But each quarter, I would give them a small bonus. Um, maybe you can give them like enough money for dinner or something. It doesn't have to be a big thing, or you don't have to lock yourself into higher money every time. But if they're doing a good job, oh my God, I want you to make more money, because that means we are making more money. And my core value is making money. So of course I want them to make more money. Okay. Inform the VAs how they can keep a green and what makes them yellow or red. You need to be very clear on this up front. You can't just throw this in their face when you're doing the reviews, because now they are in charge of their own job. Do you see what I just did here? This eliminates you from needing to be so uncomfortable in telling them they're not doing a good job. You're telling them up front, hey, this is what you're doing to be green. Okay, let's go into here. Oh, whoops. Okay, so the appraisals every quarter. Um, Desired results foster accountability. They also help ensure you receive the best quality of work, right? So the reviews, raises, and bonuses are based on 40% living the core values, 30% positive or negative customer feedback, 20% on number of excused or unexcused absences, and 10% on getting the job done in an allotted time. Do you see how core values are such a big deal? Because if they're living your core values, they are probably doing the bottom 3 things. Most people have 80% of doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing within a time frame. Are you making me money? Is where most people spend most of their time giving reviews. That's not how you want to do it, because now you are basing their job off of um, skills. We want to do it off of core values, because if they live the core values, they're doing the skills. All right. Hope that makes sense. Let's keep going here. Rewards. Rewarding and retaining exceptional VAs. Rewards motivates VAs and strengthens their loyalty. Consider raises, bonuses, higher than average pay, vacation pay, health benefits. I mean, oh my God, we did so many things in rewards. We would do company hangouts every month. I would pay to go bowling, or I would even do like drinking and stuff. And I would even say, hey, bring a friend or a family. Right now, if you're having a virtual assistant, of course, you can't do this. But there are ways to implement some things like this. There's online, all kinds of online stuff. Um, you can even get their address and you can send them a little gift package. Oh my God, if they're overseas, a Filipino, by the way, I live in the Philippines. A Filipino, if you send them a gift package, okay, uh, oh my God, they will freaking love you. And guess what? Now they're gonna tell their friends. They're going to tell people that they believe would be a good match for you. Oh my God, this person did this. I love them as a boss. They're so awesome. Right? Okay. Let me just answer a question here. Dr. Joe says, what would be an example of customer feedback for VA when the most part you are the end user for them? Okay. We're getting into questions here. I'm almost done. And I'll answer that. Real world success. Okay. So let's get into some case studies here. Continually see running ads. All right. Before I show you guys stuff, because we're getting to the top of the hour. So if you're planning on growing, or you're at the stage where you already have a lot of clients, then you're going to want to continuously run an ad. Okay. Even if you found somebody that's good, if something happens to them, okay, and you don't have to do this all the time, maybe once a month, you could do a interview with some VAs or something. But if something happens to them, or by all means, maybe they have a better job opportunity, or Maybe something happened. They had a baby or something and they can't do it anymore. You want to have a backup. Okay. And if you're fast paced growing where you have a lot of clients, you're doing workshops, you're more than an executive level and you're, hitting multiple six figures or something, you might need multiple VAs. Okay. And eventually you want to have your VA handling this task, managing all the VAs, helping you. This is what I did in my last business. I had six virtual assistants at one point, and I had a main virtual assistant managing all the other virtual assistants. So if something happened, I didn't give one VA all the tasks, like I told you, but you're going to have delegated tasks. And if something would happen to one of them, uh, the other VA would take that job temporarily, or and you'll do weekly calls and things like that to let everybody meet each other, check in with everybody. Hey, how's this going? How's this going? How am I doing? What do you guys need? But you'll have a main VA managing, and this is for people that have multiple virtual assistants. If you have one virtual assistant managing your website, okay, then you might have another virtual assistant doing social media. You might have another virtual assistant um, doing something else. So you can have multiple VAs, and then you can hire a VA. It could be for like an hour a week, even helping you delegate and manage all this stuff. All right. Okay. So I think I got a couple of examples here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So this is me uh, interviewing some VAs here. So out of all these virtual assistants on here, I had one that was a freaking shining star. This was the bottom right here, the one that I highlighted on the screen. One of them could barely speak English. I couldn't understand her very well. She actually lied on her application because I need someone with, like a couple years experience. She tried to fudge that, saying, "Oh, I did this, and it's kind of like a virtual assistant job." Do you see how my core values are? Be real. Well, that immediately eliminates you. The one on the bottom left, she looked like she had never been on a Zoom call in her life, and the personality just did not match my personality. The one on the bottom right, oh my God, was so kind and nice and loved doing charity work, and like was the English was so good. She had so many different skills, had like a few years experience. So this is the kind of people, and this is how group interviews will eliminate the people that made it this far. Now, by all means, I'm gonna love these guys because they did the tasks, they submitted their things, they looked like they were a perfect match. But as soon as I interviewed them, Dr. Joe, um, you can just see the difference. Okay, I love them all. They're just not a good match for what I'm looking for. All right, what else we got? I think I had. Oh, I didn't save it. Shoot. Um, so I actually on the interviews, I've been asking people, so what made you want to work for my company? And the responses were, you know, I've never saw an ad where people talked about having fun. And I really want to work for a company that I enjoy working for. I've like people at the end of the call would be like, can I just share something with you? And they would say, I have never had an interview like this in my life. And I just want to tell you, they said that, like, I really, really, really want to work with this company because I really believe in this. And if this is what coaching is like, oh my God, I really want to support this. I've never had a coach. Like, do you see the difference between the kind of questions that you'll be asking as opposed to hiring skill-based questions? Now, of course, you need the skills, but it's the virtual assistant core values that are going to transform your thing. Okay, so we're almost done here. Now get into the questions. I do have an offer for you guys, of course. that if this sounds like a lot of work, I also want to help those people that don't want to deal with all these, all this stuff, because it can be a lot in the beginning until you do it a lot. So let's dive back in here. Okay. Talked about growth strategies. I should have did a recap slide, but okay. Automation can simplify the hiring process. Begin by hiring for one task at a time, gradually increasing the workload and responsibilities. We already talked about that. Make sure you're clear on the tasks that you want them to do now, and then increase the task list after they prove themselves through the working interview. All right. What's the summary slide? I guess I talked about, but I didn't put the bullet points here, but we can go over that stuff. So figure out your core values, uh, develop your core value based hiring ad. And now we're going to dive into where you're going to do that. Once you figure out where to do that and you post the ad, you're going to set up an email system with an automatic responder that gives them 3 tasks they can do to prove themselves. Once they submit their task, you're going to sign them up using Calendly or some other system to set up an appointment interview with you. And you're going to do a group interview. Okay. One time, you're not going to do a million things and let them choose any time they want. You're going to choose a time that works for you, preferably a time that you want them to start working. And after that group interview, which you're going to use a green, yellow, red system, you will, I'll put together something and I'll put this on end and maybe send it to you guys if you need this all recapped. But once you do that, you will see who's a good fit, and then you'll hire them for a 5-day working interview. All right. So if you find this process overwhelming, there is a solution. Yay. Funflowva.com, a trusted VA company in the Philippines. You now have a actual coach, myself, that has collaborated with some people in the Philippines that have access to virtual assistants. Yay. I'm going to show you guys if you don't want to deal with all this stuff, you can go here. Let's do this. All right. Where are we at here? Funflowva.com. Okay. Can you guys see my screen here? Let me know. Okay. Where are we at? Funflowva.com. So we'll go through, if you guys have questions about where and stuff to do this, we'll go through how to implement the all the stuff I talked about. Okay. But if you don't want to deal with any of that mess and you just want to go straight for hiring a good matching VA, then you can go here. Okay. Let me post a link here so you guys don't go to the wrong one. This is the actual link. Funflowva.com itself is actually not an updated website. So I put the link here in the chat if you guys want to look at this. And you can sign up for a discovery call to see if hiring a VA through this company is a good fit for you. But these are pre-vetted, pre-checked, pre-interviewed, everything virtual assistants that have been tested and proven that they know what they're doing and can help you. Okay. 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy, you get a new VA. No long-term contracts. You can quit anytime. There's no risk to you. And of course, there's just a 5-day trial. Our mission: empower coaches, amplify impact. We handle the behind the scenes. You shine in the spotlight. Okay, if you're a new coach, it's great. You can build your name and brand with a tailored, consistent content. I think I talked to some coaches about this. Consistency on, if you're using social media to build your brand, consistency is your number one thing that's going to get people to you, because they need to see you 7 to 9 times before they trust you enough to book a call with you, right? Scaling your brand. If you're a coach that already has clients, you're already doing events, you're already doing workshops, you got your thing going on, you can have a full-time support to manage your workshops, leads, and more. And you always get the best talent. You're matched with top tier VAs. We interview thousands. Oh my God. You have no idea. Thousands of VAs, so you can focus on your coaching. There's a 5-day risk-free trial. Okay. Of course, we'll have to pay for the VA's time. So there will be a cost with that. You'll find your perfect fit without the commitment. So this is what it is. If you're just starting out, we recommend the brand builder. This is usually for a part-time VA. And this comes out, guys, to I think like $12 an hour or something. If you hire a VA in the United States, and I'm going to show you where you guys can do this yourself if you want to see for yourself. Virtual assistants in the United States run anywhere from 20 or maybe 15 if you're lucky. But usually around, if they know what they're doing, it can go up to like $25 an hour. Growth Guru 444. There you go. Some angel numbers. And then the Elite Executive. This is for people that are really kicking it and they need some high level support. This is like 5-year experience, people that can do a specific thing or projects. So there you go. You will fill out your info. You can go to the book now, interview to discover your needs, you can meet 3 potential VAs. So you will actually get 3 video interviews with the virtual assistant introducing themselves. And you can see right away if this is someone you think you want to work with. So you can actually meet them in a short video that they send you, and we will help you with all of that. And you enjoy a 5-day trial. We handle everything, matching, interviewing, ensuring you're satisfied. So if something goes on or you need a new VA, or maybe they're just not working out for you, we will replace them and for you. Oh, so nice. My God, I've gone through so many virtual assistants in my last business. Woo. This is a big thing. Okay. So what are they saying? We already got some reviews there. These years ago are actually from another company I was a part of. That's why I'm helping with this one. And you can see the commonly asked questions there. This isn't my first rodeo with virtual assistants. So let's dive into some questions. Oh, look at that. Right at 8 o'clock. Oh my God, I'm so good. All right. Where are we at here? Let me see you guys. All right. I know it's a lot of information. Maybe you guys are meditating. Come back to me. Come back. All right, guys. I'll open it up. Give me your questions. How can I help you today? Go ahead. Whoever's up, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you really laid this out beautifully. Like it was a great presentation and so helpful.
Thank you.
And the one question that I had is once you do the group interview and you quote hire them, are you saying the first thing is a 5-day I wrote down what it was.
Okay, so once you hire them,
you do a 5-day working interview. Is that it?
Yeah, you want to do a 5-day working interview because a lot of times the uncomfortable part about telling somebody they're not a good fit comes when they think they already got the job, right? So you want to tell them, hey, look, I'm so happy that you're working with me, but of course we might not be a good fit. You don't want to tell them, well, if you suck, I'm going to fire you. You want to say, I'm really looking for someone to match our mission here, my mission. Okay. And if I don't think it's a good match, there's nothing wrong with you. I still love you and I still will, send you some healing love, but we might not be a good match. So let's try this out for 5 days. And maybe I don't even know if I want to hire a virtual assistant. You know what I mean? So it gives you an out. So you want to do, yes, a 5-day working interview.
And you're paying them for those 5 days?
Of course, yeah, you want to pay them, yeah. So the
Okay.
offer I have for the Fund Flow VA is it's usually $222 for a week of work. We are offering that for $150. You can try out a VA. It's really, really cheap in the virtual assistant space, but I will show you guys where you can post your hiring ad and how you can do that if you want. So you would use a website like Upwork. So I can show you here. Let me just show this with you guys real quick here. Why can't I see what I'm doing? Can't see. Oh, Fiverr actually, I found has more international people. You can also use a website called Upwork. But Fiverr, you would go in here, you would list your job. But sites like these, you get hundreds of thousands of people. You can try to access specific country websites like this, but Fiverr.com, that's where you would post your hiring ad that we talked about. Okay, if you're looking for that, if you guys don't want to mess with that, like I said, you can try out a VA, one that's already gone through this whole process and is urgently waiting and excited about working with coaches. Specifically, this company, Fund Flow VA, is only working with coaches. So all of the hiring and all of the interviews are based on how they can help a coach grow. And that would be based on, you probably are at two levels. Either one, you're just starting out, or two, you've already got some clients coming in, but you're looking to automate or systematize your leads. So those would be the two levels. But for the trial, you could try it out for $150. But yeah, you want to do a 5-day working interview.
Okay. And then after you find out after 5 days it works, then I heard you're going to do quarterly reviews, but did you also may want to do weekly ones for a while?
Yeah, the first month you want to do a weekly check-in, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the first week you want to even do a 15-minute check-in every day. So you can do that. So it's completely up to you how you want to do that. But yeah, I would definitely recommend in the beginning a weekly check-in. Hey, how am I doing? How are you doing? What's going on? How can I help you? That type of stuff.
Okay. And you're
Good
saying
question.
that at some point you just do that quarterly. Um, and how long have you
Probably after
found?
the first month. Usually after the first month, you would know
Okay. Yeah.
when to start that. But I would use your own intuition on that one.
Mm, thank you. Really
Welcome.
great presentation. Very helpful.
Thanks, Beth. Love your background. I kind of miss Pennsylvania. Oh my God.
It's my deck.
Where are you at? I can't.
On my back deck in Chicago.
Okay. Chicago. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Dr. Jill, you got a question there?
Yeah, I actually have several questions. So this was sort of a follow-up to Beth's question, but I was wondering about it earlier. So you're paying for that 5-day trial period, but you don't pay anything for the initial thing where you give them the 3 tasks to do to apply.
Yeah, that one would be their willingness to do whatever it takes to work with you. Okay.
Because
And
I've heard it both ways. Yeah.
yeah. When I had my brick and mortar business, I did pay them for stuff like that. But in the virtual assistant space, I designed the tasks to take less than 5 to 10 minutes if they're good. Okay. And the ones that say, oh my God, this is too much work, you're not even paying me, and they give me the middle finger in the email. I've had that
Well,
too. Those are the
then you know they're not the ones.
yeah.
Okay, and in the stuff you're gonna give us, will you give us kind of some more sample tasks that we might use if we're doing the do-it-yourself route? I'm
Yeah.
not
So
sure
this
if I'm ready for a VA yet, so that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's a great discovery. So use that form I sent you guys to go through your week. and just kind of write down the things that you're doing and not doing or should be doing or don't want to do. And that way you can kind of decide if it's worth it. And the VAs that I described, you don't need to hire a virtual assistant even in the FunFlow VA. You can hire a virtual assistant just based on one task or one project. So you don't need to commit to like a 20-hour a week, because that's what that is, a 20-hour or 40-hour a week VA. You can get someone to help you with just one specific thing too. So that's an option.
And the question I had put in the chat earlier had to do with, you talked about customer feedback. It seems to me like most of the kinds of tasks aren't things where they would actually be interacting with a customer, like editing videos or posting on social media, or like, so, where you're the end user, they're working with you, but it's not like they're not answering the phone for you, making appointments, and
They
you know.
can. They can do
But
that
if
too.
they are, but if
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing things that are sort of what is that?
Great question. So if they're doing things like social media, graphic design, and things like that, the customer feedback would be, hey, you've been posting this stuff, but nobody likes it. Like, that's a customer feedback. Or the graphic video that they produce, you shared it with everybody in the mastermind group and everyone like bashed it or something. Now, of course, you're going to get 100 different opinions and point of view. So try to be careful on using other people's opinions to judge someone. But the feedback in that case would be, am I getting leads? So hiring a virtual assistant for this type of thing, you would, well, the FunFlow VA model is, hey, if you're hiring someone part-time, our goal is 1 to 5 new leads a week. More full-time would probably be closer to 10 to 15 a week. You should be seeing new leads. Maybe not the first week. Of course, they need to take some time to get to know your message. Any marketing is just testing, as you know, with the mastermind. You might get draft 1, it doesn't work. Draft 2, okay, I'm seeing a little bit better results. Draft 3. So you want to be mindful of that. Any marketing takes a little time, but that's where your customer feedback would be, is, am I getting results?
And when you talk about leads, you're talking about people who are opting into your list,
Yeah,
or
list
not
or
not people necessarily who are booking a call with you.
yeah, you'd be getting people that are interested in your stuff. And remember, it takes, up to 7 times for someone to see your message to start trusting you. So all of these things are implementing time-based results, but great question.
And I didn't write down my other question in the chat, so I forgot what my other question was, but if it comes to me, I'll raise my hand again.
All right. Okay. Anyone else? That's it. I did that good of a job or what? Okay. But so here's the thing, guys. I would, if you want to right now, you can text 3 to 5 people saying, hey, could you just give me a few words to describe me when you hear my name? Boom, you got your core values within 5 minutes. Okay. Once you got your core values, use Chat GPT to say, hey, here's an example of what I'm trying to accomplish. I need 4 core values based on these answers. Okay. Boom, you got your core values, and now you can use that to draft your hiring ad. Okay, I need this is for you if, this is not for you if hiring ad, and Chat GPT will know what to do. Okay, get your core values, get your hiring ad. Once you have your hiring ad and you already went through your tasks, I gave you the form to fill out what tasks you're doing to decide if hiring a virtual assistant is right for you. And usually you can decide that if you have consistent leads coming in. If you don't, and it's been like maybe 6 months where you haven't had consistent leads coming in, hiring a VA might be for you. But you'll know what tasks to ask for now in the skills section on the hiring ad. Okay. Once you have your hiring ad, you would go to Fiverr.com and you would submit your job requirement. And you can use something like payscale.com. I think I'm going to put in a slide in the recording after this to showcase all this stuff, but you would use something like payscale.com, and they will give you the average pay for the job that you are asking for, an hourly rate. Okay, payscale.com, you can see the average. FundFlow VA pays everyone 10% higher than the average because we want to retain employees. Okay, I recommend paying them a little bit higher because you want some quality. You don't want the average person, right? Payscale.com. Now you know how much to charge or ask for pay. Once you do that and you put your Fiverr.com on, you're going to go to gmail.com and create a separate Gmail only for these people. A separate email only for these people. Okay. Then you're going to go into your vacation responder and set up an autoresponder, and you can use ChatGPT to draft this autoresponder. An autoresponder that gives them 3 simple tasks, guys. Don't make it so complicated. 3 simple tasks that is based on the results that you're looking for on the tasks. Okay. Once you do that and they have the autoresponder and you have the job up, and remember in the job description at the very bottom, you're going to have them follow the instruction to email me if you're interested. Email me if you're interested at the bottom of the hiring ad. That's so important. Okay. They'll get an autoresponder with the 3 tasks and give a clear call to action. After you finish these 3 tasks, email them back to me at this email. Okay. Now you'll receive back, and you will receive them, and you can kind of judge whether or not you want to continue. Go ahead, Jill.
That was one of my questions that I had earlier. So if you've got the autoresponder, you don't want them to get that same thing. So are you giving them a different email to send the 3 tasks?
Yeah, you can. Great question, because this actually happened to me. I forgot to talk about this. You can, or I'm just lazy. So in the actual email I put, if you already received this tasks list, disregard this autoresponder. And I just put that in there. I'd be real with people. So I'm lazy. I don't feel like giving them another email, but you can. That's probably a better move. Great question, though. I didn't think about that when I first started doing this. Okay, so now you got the thing. Now you're going to set up a Calendly or other calendar booking system that links to your calendar schedule. So I use calendly.com. Okay, I think it's free for the first whatever it is. And you're going to send them a link. Say you can create another email saying, hey, congratulations on making it this far. I really am looking forward to seeing you and talking to you. Here's an interview Calendly link. Now you're going to set up a group interview link, so you can have multiple people join. But what a better way to see if somebody can handle a workshop is if they join on a multiple people interview, right? So I set up a group interview, and I do it for one time and have up to 5 to 8 people join. You don't want too many people. It's going to take too much time, and it's really disrespectful of their time, right? Once you have the group interview set up and people sign up and you actually do the interview, you're going to create a Google Sheet to mark green, yellow, or red whether or not they're a good fit. Okay.
Tell them
And
it's going to be a group interview
what'd you
before they
say?
get there? Do you tell them in advance that it's going to be a group interview, or you just
No,
wait till they
I
show
like
up?
the
The
surprise
surprise
element. Because like if they don't want to do that, they're gonna just drop out. I had a couple people do it, but honestly, most people just join because they don't know who's the boss and who isn't. Until I say, hey guys, I just tell them up front in the interview, guys, part of this job is gonna be I might be doing workshops with multiple people, and I might need help managing the comments and managing stuff. So what a better way to see how we manage that by doing a group interview. So that's what I tell them. And most of them laugh and be like, oh, what a great idea. You know, So once you have that, once you've decided who's a good fit, who's not a good fit, maybe you find the right person after a couple group interviews. You don't need to continue if you don't want to. I continue maybe once a week with a group interview just to see if I can find someone better. But you're not hiring this person to do everything all at once, but you will then tell them, great, we're going to do a working interview just in case we're not a good fit. Because to be honest, I'm not even sure if a virtual assistant is right for my mission. But we're going to do a working interview for 5 days. Of course, I'm going to pay you for your time. And you decide that. And then I let them know after that, we can do a daily call just to check in. And here's the specific and clear tasks that I need done. Okay, you need to be very clear. And if they say, yeah, great, let's do it, this is what I need. After the 5-day working interview, you let them know, hey, I told you in the interview about my quarterly reviews, because you want to let them know, hey, this is how you can keep your job. This is how you can get a raise or a bonus. Okay. So that's what you would do with that. And then you just keep going. All right. I think I laid out. Go ahead, Joe.
And so say we're using your company, you're sending us 3 videos and we're picking one of those, and then we're gonna do the 5-day thing. How, like, how do we get them on? We get on a call with them on Zoom and give them the tasks, and how does the process differ? And how is it the same?
Yeah. So the first step would be you would have an interview with us, and we would say, okay, I think this is a good fit for you. But once you choose a virtual assistant you would like to work with, we then do a meeting with the virtual assistant and you together. It'd probably be me at first. And once that's happening, we will even share with the VA maybe the interview to let them see if this is something they want to do. Okay. Or if they have questions, or if they don't think it's a good fit for them. Okay. The same thing goes for them, because the Funful VA is advocating for both parties. We want everyone to be happy and everyone to be a good fit. It's not about hiring somebody. It's about you guys have a mission together,
Each other.
Yeah. And so once that happens, we do have some suggestions on onboarding them, but the VAs should know or have experience with onboarding you. And everybody's different. Everybody uses different platforms. Some people use LinkedIn, some people use Facebook. So with that, it would be up to the VA. You guys would be the boss of the virtual assistant. They are a freelancer. However, they'd be getting paid from us because we guarantee them all sorts of things being in the Philippines. So you don't have to worry about all the specifics with the Filipinos.
And is your
But
company, from the point of like our paying for the services, are we paying a US company in US dollars, or are we
yeah, you'd be
paying?
paying in US dollars. It'd be an expense. You would not be responsible for any of their taxes or anything like that. But the guarantee you get from having a company is, see, the challenge with the VA is if it's not a good fit, well, now you got to continue the hiring process over and over and over. That's the stress that hiring a company takes over for you. So you don't have to worry about that. If you're not happy, hey, okay, let's find you someone else. You know, but of course, whether you're doing it yourself or you're hiring a company, of course, you're paying people for their time. You're being respectful. It's just like hiring an employee. You're not going to not pay someone their paycheck. That's kind of effed up. So, but yeah, the point of this is we're making sure that people kind of match, that we believe that they're going to do a good job. So that's where that comes in. All right.
It's super helpful.
Yeah.
busy
Oh, I'm
one.
so happy for you. I know you had a lot of questions at the
I know,
master.
yeah, we talked about it. I need to sit down and play with that list of, for me, my issue is I have a lot of cake and not a lot of cringe. And I'm good at, so figuring out like when is
Mhm.
the tipping point, when it's the right time for me to do it. That's gonna be my,
Yeah,
I know,
for me, it was if I'm not consistently engaging people or content, then I should probably pay someone to do it,
yeah,
whether I can afford it or not. Like, if you're not consistent, then for me, this is me, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm only 39, but I didn't grow up on social media. It's not my thing. I try to be on there. I do have a big following and stuff, but it's
you're not much older than my son.
yeah. So,
Um,
it's cool, but it's just not my
but you're a real go-getter. Um, do you have people who can, like, from scratch, set up a LinkedIn profile and page, and like, will they just sort of
yeah,
essentially interview me and figure out like what needs to go on it and stuff
yeah,
like,
great question. So out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of VAs that we've been interviewing, um, we have categorized people based on skill sets and specific things that they've had experience with. So that's where the interview with us would come in, where we would decide, okay, they really need help with LinkedIn or this or that. And we would go through all of the VAs. We have them in a private group and communicate with them all the time. We would reach out to the ones that would match what you're looking for. So great question. And I think Peggy had a question.
Yeah. When you're hiring a VA, there's going to be a contract involved. And if we use your service, is the contract under the laws of the Philippines, or in my case, Canada? Or does that even apply? Because I
Great
did
question.
talk about
So,
hiring somebody and he wanted it under the laws of Nigeria. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to hire
oh, yeah,
somebody and be obliged to Nigeria.
I remember you
So,
asking that. Yeah, in the mastermind. Great question. So, even with my own employees in my brick and mortar in Delaware, uh, contracts, like the only thing I'm putting in writing is saying, look, I am a real company and I'm signing my name to state that I am going to pay you or you're going to pay me, but there's no contract that says you need to stay with me. And um, so the only thing that happens is with the contract is saying if we're not a good fit, then we both agree to separate, and then the only thing we're really agreeing on is paying for the time. That's it. There's
right.
no long-term contracts with this. There's no Filipino and United States laws. If you go through Pfeiffer or Upwork, they have their own agreement. It's just saying, hey, we have your credit card. You agree to pay their time, but there's no, like, we're not going to force you to stay with somebody if you don't like them type of thing. So great question. But yeah, there's no like Filipino law that's going to bind you to some crazy agreement or something. Even halfway through a project, I mean, if it's just somebody that's really horrible, I mean, they're just like so bad that like it's not even funny, or they're not answering your question, like they just disappeared on you or something. Of course, that's something that would be in there, but that's why going through a company or somewhere like Pfeiffer or Upwork is so important, because they're pre-vetted. They have a reason to be there. They want to make money. They want to do a good job, and you can give them reviews. You can rate them and stuff like that. So great question.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And here in the Philippines, we actually get their ID and everything else. So, and then the only other part of the agreement for the Fund Flow VA is, hey, let's say you want to work with this VA, you know, like there's some type of outside thing or something, like you can buy off a VA too. So things like that. But we have an agreement with the VAs, like, hey, if a coach doesn't work out for you, we're going to continuously keep trying to find you work. So it's a win-win for both sides. But there's no like, we're going to come after you type of thing. So great question. All right. Anyone else? Wow, Viv, I can't believe you're still with us. what is it, 5:30 a.m.? Holy cow. All right, Joe.
So if you have, say you have somebody who is part-time doing whatever the thing is, and maybe you have a couple of people eventually doing different types of things. At some point, you need more time in, say, the social media than you currently have with that VA. What happens if they already are, say they're working for you, they're working for two other people, they're, how does that then work? Do you end up shuffling people around? Do you end up
So
giving?
so being a virtual assistant is great, and that's why we want to promote this job. Many people in the Philippines, after especially COVID, they're looking for an online job. They have families. It's really hot in the daytime here, so a lot of people want to sleep during the day. So having a United States-based employer is perfect jobs for these the communities here. However, being a VA, if you're taking on one job, one of the questions we ask in our interviews is, how do you manage multiple clients at the same time? And then we kind of gauge how they're doing that or how they're managing that. And a lot of them use calendars and lists and prioritize things based on daily task lists and what's more important, you know. So great question, but that's where the virtual assistant will be in charge of that. And you can kind of gauge too if they're being responsive, if they're, if you have some things that they need to do every day, are they doing it? So you're not like
Yeah,
us, we don't want to manage their time, but
that question, what you answered was a different question, which is also an interesting one, which is what happens when you have something, you have something that needs to happen today, and so does their other client. But which is, a
well, that's
conundrum.
where
But
communication would come in. Like you should know ahead of time if you need something
ideally, you want to
today.
plan ahead. One of
Yeah.
the questions, what I was trying to ask though was, say I'm working with, Mary Jo, and they're working whatever half-time for me and half-time for somebody else, and my work that I have for them expands such that now I would love to have them work for me full-time rather than half-time. But they are committed to this other person too. How do you manage
Well,
that?
it's
Or
just
do
a
I just end up
conversation.
with another person?
Yeah, it's just a conversation. And if it's with the Fund Flow VA, we would advocate, and we talk about this actually in our interviews. Like, look,
Okay.
our goal is to get you to work full time with somebody. Ultimately, being able to leave your daytime job or whatever else they got going on, and that's where we're hoping. And this has been the case in the past companies I've had, where they want to work full time for this company and
Yeah.
for
Okay.
one person. It's
So
so much easier.
the goal is the end point, the goal is to get them one-to-one, their
Yeah.
full-time for one coach, so that you don't even, all the rest of it is not even an issue.
Yeah. And the more money they make for you, the more money they'll be making for themselves. Because now, if they're getting you clients back to back, my God, now you want to pay them a bigger bonus. You know what I mean? So naturally, it should be an evolution of, I want more experience. I want to work for somebody full time that I love and I believe in their mission. And then ultimately, I'm able to get up to the executive level where now maybe I can help you manage more VAs to take off some of these tasks.
So we pay you, you pay them, and we can bonus them as well.
Yeah, you can. Our company takes care of that. But if it's somebody that you love and, oh my God, whatever you're paying them or whatever bonus or raise you're giving them, and as we continue, so usually after like 6 months to a year, we'd have a talk about increasing the pay and stuff like that. But we would take care of that for the first year, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. But yeah, if you have something else or you want to send them something, like I'm telling you, oh my God, if you send a package to like our company actually would sends like little kind of like, the mastermind, they send like little gifts and stuff. And so we do that too. And we do company hangouts and we do charity events at local they call them provinces here. So, and you guys, whoever's with Fun Flow VA would see all of that. Oh, my cat's gonna come in here. Oh my gosh. Get out of here. Look, there's my cat. Okay, hello. Cat time. All right, guys.
I call this my virtual assistant.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, what a great meeting, guys. So is there anything you need from me now? Do you guys got everything? I can post an outline of step by step if you guys like, and I can use that also in this. I can tag it at the end of the video, but I'll have a replay available. But yeah, I can do a step by step. I think that's the only thing I was missing. Thanks, Peggy. All right, guys. Well, I hope this helped. Is everybody gonna try a virtual assistant, or I'm curious what you guys are thinking? You gonna try to go on Upwork or Fiverr and figure out your core values? Anybody gonna try that? All right. I hope so. And if you have a company, bye-bye. I would definitely figure out your core values anyways, because I'm telling you, it transforms your life when you are able to use core values to make decisions on keeping or firing people. So I hope this helps you guys. I love all of you guys, and I hope to support you guys in any way I can. I love coaching. It changed my life, and I want to support you guys and myself. So, all right, guys, let me get out of here, and we'll see you in the calls, huh?
Thank you, Dylan. Great presentation. Appreciate it.
Bye. Thank you,
Yeah, it was
guys.
amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you were so patient with, I know I had a lot of questions and
No, questions are great. Yeah,
thank
you
you.
brought up a lot of stuff that I forgot to mention, so it's a great stuff.
So I personally like to thank you, Dylan, because I only heard this core value thing from one person on the planet, which is Ryan Dice, and he's just so huge. And I like to emphasize that you have thought this whole thing totally through. I'm major impressed.
Well,
Thank
you know how it's because I actually practiced this stuff for the past 8 years. I implemented this in my last business, and the year I implemented this strategy, I doubled my business. So
Wow.
that's just something to think about there. That's how I ended up in this book. Yay. $1 million service secrets. So
Yeah, that's
this
really potent. Really
yeah,
potent. Yeah,
really good stuff.
definitely going to be the first step for me. It's just getting clear on that. And I already sent out my first text
All
to
right.
somebody. So I'm like, okay, I gotta send the rest of my texts out.
You know, I get business owners that I just had one here in the Philippines. It's in an Italian restaurant here, and I freaking love them, but they're struggling for employees. And I sat down with them and I gave them the whole spiel, and they're just not doing it, because they're not paying for it. So of course it's free information. They're not going to listen. So, oh my God, I hope you guys do this, and I hope you believe my passion in this system, because it really will. If you're at a stage where you're ready to take someone into your mission in any business, it will really transform the people you're attracting. And I wish I could replay some of the videos. I wish I would have taken clips, because the VAs are like, oh my God, like, this company is so awesome. Like, I've never seen any interview like this in my life. Like, I'm like, yeah, thanks. I mean, it'll really transform the people you're attracting. I promise you. I promise you. So, all right, guys. Well, you have a good night. Or in the Philippines, they say Magadang Gabi. And I'll see you on the other side. Take care.